So are we going to factor or are we going to isolate the x? Okay, does anybody want to see it factored? Does anybody want to see how to factor it? One person said isolate the x. Nobody else said anything. Okay, so I have one person saying isolate x. I have one person saying factor. Okay, so we're going to do it both ways. All right, we're going to do it side by side so you guys can see what the difference is. Okay, so on the left, okay, we're going to isolate x. All right, so first we'd have to add 25 to both sides. Right, that's going to cancel that 25. It's going to make it 4x equals 25. Okay, next step would be to divide by 4. Divide by 4. Now keep in mind, this is going to come out to, well, it should be a squared, sorry. X squared. 4x squared, my bad. So now normally, like, you guys would probably want to put a decimal in here, like 25 divided by 4, get some decimal. Okay, but remember now, what's our last step have to be here? What's the last thing we have to do on the left side to get x by itself? Forget about the fraction. Square root, good. So to square root a fraction, okay, and we're going to get into fraction stuff. But to square root a fraction, all you do is you square root the top and you put it over the square root of the bottom. Okay, so what's the square root of the top here? What's the square root of 25? 5. So that means 5 is going to go on top of our fraction. And what's the square root of 4 on the bottom? 2. So that means that the square root of 25 over 4 is just 5 over 2. And don't forget about the plus or minus. So questions on the isolating the x? Oh shoot, we could have. We could have, Sandra. Let me pause the. Okay, so we got the factored form on the right. We factored it here. 2x minus 5 times 2x plus 5. And then if we just kind of use one of those, set it equal to 0, and solve it, we would end up with plus or minus our answer.